If you're concerned about clicking knees, then this video is going to reveal the 2 causes of clicking knees and how to stop it. If you don't know who I am, my name is Will Harlow and I'm the Over-Fifties specialist physio here at HT Physio in Farnham, and today we're going to be talking about how to stop clicking knees. Now, clicking knees is really common, and the main area that the knees click is around the kneecap. So it's usually around the front of the knee that people notice they're clicking. So on the knee model, this is your shin bone, this is your thigh bone, and this is your kneecap. And when things move correctly, as you bend and straighten your kneecap should directly move up and down within this little groove on the femur, the thigh bone. Now, in an imperfect world, what happens is the kneecap doesn't always move perfectly up or down within the groove on the femur. And this is one of the major causes of clicking knees. So this can happen to anyone. It isn't just 50 plus specific. I've seen people as young as the age of about 13 or 14 who are suffering with painful clicky knees, and it's because their kneecap isn't moving directly in the groove as it was designed. So we call this patella maltracking, and this is the first major cause of clicking knees. Now, the second major cause of clicking knees, which also happens around the front of the knee, is arthritis behind the kneecap. So again, what this causes is the patella and the femur not to move on top of each other correctly, and then that can cause clicking and popping. Now, what this is not, is it's not your bones rubbing together, so don't worry. If your bones were rubbing together, you would have much too much pain to be doing anything active. So for most people who've got clicking knees, they can still exercise, but they just don't like the sound, or maybe it hurts a little bit when their knees click, and the cause of that is usually either maltracking or a bit of arthritis behind the kneecap. Now, thankfully, for both of these problems, we can often improve it with physiotherapy exercises. So in today's video, I'm going to show you 3 of my best exercises to fix clicking knees and stop patella maltracking. And if these exercises are suitable for you, please do give them a go. If they cause pain, or if you've had a review from a healthcare practitioner and they said don't do them, then definitely avoid them. But otherwise, let's have a look at these exercises and hopefully they can help you to feel a bit better. So the first exercise I've got for you, and this is one that's great to help with the tracking of the kneecap or the patella, I just call patella guidance, and it's a great exercise for most people who have clicking knees just to get them started. So what you want to do is you want to start off sitting up against either your backrest or on your sofa, and you're going to need a rolled up towel like this one just to prop under the knee that we're going to work. Now, it's important to note that the muscles that attach to the kneecap are your quadricep muscles, so the ones at the front of the thigh. So for this exercise, we're going to be working our quadriceps, because if they pull correctly, the kneecap's going to move directly up the groove on the femur. But if they're not pulling correctly, then you're going to end up with some of this side to side kneecap movement that causes the clicking. So this exercise is really simple. I'm going to show you the easy way first, and then we're going to use a more specific bit of guidance. So the easy thing we're going to do is push down into the towel and straighten your knee just gently, and you should feel that these muscles here, the quad muscles, start to activate. You might find it easier if you pull your toes up as well and then relax like that. And even though you won't feel too much happening at the kneecap, there will be some gliding up and down. Now, if your kneecap's not moving correctly, what's happening is usually the kneecap's going laterally, which means it's going outside, okay? So all we're going to do to make this exercise more effective is we're going to put one set of fingers on the outside of the kneecap and just gently guide the kneecap in a couple of millimeters. Now, you have to start off with your thigh relaxed. So relax the thigh, then push the kneecap, then squeeze and keep that pressure on. And what you're doing here is you're guiding the kneecap slightly medially at the same time as contracting, okay? So it's a very gentle way to encourage the kneecap to move in the correct way. And what this should do is it should bias some of the quads on the inside of the leg, which pull it medially, without allowing these ones here to pull it laterally, okay? So it helps if you've got a kneecap that tracks laterally to push it medially, then you're going to end up with it central, okay? Simple as that. So you're going to just put that pressure on and relax. Again, put the pressure on, squeeze, and relax. Pressure on, squeeze, and relax. And I recommend most people do this about 10 to 15 times in a row. Just do it little and often throughout the day. That tends to be the best way. I would do a minimum of 3 sets per day, and you should end up with stronger quads, which is only a good thing, and also better patella tracking over a number of months if you do this consistently. So there's a second cause of patella maltracking, not just the quads, but the hips can cause it as well. So if you don't have strength in your glute muscles, namely your gluteus medius and your gluteus minimus, your leg rolls inwards when you walk, and then that can cause the clicking knees as well. So I'm going to show you an exercise to strengthen your gluteus medius and gluteus minimus. But before I do that, it's really important to note that 88% of people who watch these videos have not yet subscribed to the channel. So if that's you, go down, subscribe to the channel, and then you'll be the first to hear about our new videos when they come out. Anyway, let's have a look at this exercise. So this is called the clam with a band, and I'm going to use a resistance band to make this exercise work. So you can get these pretty cheaply online, and all we're going to do is we're going to start off by slipping it around our legs, just around the point of the knees. And you want it quite tight around your knees to begin with. Now this exercise works by lying on your side on a nice comfortable surface, so either a mat on the floor or your bed. And you're going to start off by rolling further forward than feels natural and just putting this top hand on the bed like this. And I should note now that this one at the top is the leg that we're going to be working. So you're in this position, you're rolled forward, you've got your knees together, you've got your ankles together like that. We're going to keep everything still, and then we're just going to lift that top knee up towards the ceiling. Hold for a second and then come back down. Now you'll notice that this is actually a really small movement that I'm doing here, and I'm doing that on purpose because I don't want to roll backwards. I want to keep my body weight forwards and just lift that top knee and then back down. And the area I can feel this is here, so it's at the top of the hip, and that's exactly where we want it because that is your gluteus medius and minimus. And if those are working, they're controlling the alignment of the knee as we walk and as we come downstairs and things like that, and then we'll get less clicking knees as a result. So it's like that and then back down. If you can't do this with the resistance band, you can try it without, but for most people, adding a resistance band is a great way to accelerate that strengthening process. So basically just keep doing that until you start to get some fatigue. So for most people, it's about 10 or 15 repetitions when they start. And do that a couple of times per day. If you can do that over a period of a few months, you will get better mechanics in your lower leg for most people, because most people, to be honest, are quite weak there as well. And then the final exercise I've got for you here to help you with your patella tracking and stop those clicking knees is a sit to stand with a band. Now to make this exercise work, again, we want to be using that same band you were using for the clam, and you want it around your knees in exactly the same place. Now the toughest thing for people with this exercise is finding a chair or a seat that's the right height. So you want something that's raised you up probably just above 90 degrees at the knees. So a nice high chair, or maybe the side of a bed if you've got a raised up bed would be good. And if you don't have that at home, you can build up a chair with a couple of pillows just to sort of get you started. So you want a nice firm high surface. You want to shuffle towards the edge like this, and you want your feet flat on the floor in front of you, okay? What you'll notice here is I'm keeping my knees apart. If I was to relax, the band would pull me in like this. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to fight against the band. And the reason we're doing this is because these muscles out here, the same ones we worked before, are the ones that do this movement, and they are the ones that are responsible for the alignment of your thigh. And that is what causes clicking knees in many people. So you want to keep your knees apart. You want to put your feet in a position where you feel you can do a sit to stand. You're going to use no hands for this, so hands across chest. You're going to bring your weight forward and stand up without letting the band pull your knees in, and then same thing on the way down, but do it really slowly, fighting against that band. Now the reason I've got you quite high up is because if people have clicking knees or arthritis behind their kneecap, the lower down they go, the more likely they are to get clicking and pain. So we want it to be as high as possible to not get the clicking and not get the pain in the knee, but to still allow the exercise to take place. So for me, that's about here. So I'm up and then very slowly back down. And on the way back down, that's where you have to fight harder to keep those knees apart, because the band wants to do this. Okay, so you want to keep your knees apart, come forward and up. We're sort of pushing through the heels as we go, and then slowly back down. Now, a common mistake people make with this exercise is they try on the way back down to bend the knees without sticking the bum out. So you definitely want to have some hip hinge like that. And watch all the time that you've got that consistent space between your knees, because if you switch off for a moment, that will start to happen, and that's going to make the problem worse. So with this exercise, because it's a bit tougher, you don't need to do quite so many. So I recommend most people start with just doing 5 in a row, several times a day, as long as that feels comfortable, and do that over a period of a few months, and it will get stronger and the clicking knees will improve as well. So those are 3 of my favorite exercises to stop clicking knees. I hope that video has been useful to you. If it has, please do subscribe to the channel. And if you want to get more from me, please pick up a copy of my book. It's called Thriving Beyond 50, and you can find it on Amazon using the link below. It's perfect for anyone age 50 plus who wants to remain active, healthy and mobile as they get older. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you on the next video.